challenge with James Olokesu to expose you to things that will enhance your manifestation, that will enhance your wealth creation. I believe that wealth creation, everybody, all of us are meant to create wealth. So all of us are meant to create wealth. Paradigm shift, shifting from survival mindset to value creation mindset. Yesterday we talked so much about thinking faculty of the wealthy and the thinking faculty. And in this intelligent conversation we are having from time to time, I believe that there's a lot that we need to learn. There are a lot that we can learn, but we can only learn when we are really getting value, getting and how we are appropriating them. So before we even go forward, I would like you to uh, subscribe to our channel if you have not done so, and as well as to like it so that others can see it and be part of the discussion. So if you want to be part of the discussion, you can chat, you can send message to us, you can ask questions. Whatever you don't understand, you can ask questions. You can, So there's one of our book that has been out. That's the business angle of your profession, and we can get it to you, the e-copy or the hard copy also. So by God's grace, we teach wealth creation to help people to have the mindset, because wealth creation begins with mindset. And when you don't understand the mindset of wealth creation, you can. It's not something that you drop on. It's not something that just comes randomly. It's something that has to be cultivated. Switch from survivor mindset to value creation mindset. It takes you from you asking question, how do I survive, to what value do I create? They are only living by survivor. It's all about survivor to them. They go to work, come back in the evening. It's all about survivor. It's all about, okay, how do I survive? How much can I make? Oh, how do I survive? That's all that it matters to them. So create wealth. I want to appreciate those who are commenting and those who are coming online and coming on board. So may God bless you. So it goes for a while, how well the business is doing. The moment you continue to focus on just survival, and you're not building, look at what value are we, what problem are we actually solving, and what value are we creating. The business does not have a future, because you're just going to be running on survival. So that's what I want you to really change the transition. Have a transition in your mindset from how do I survive, or how do we survive, to how do we create value? What value do we create? Because the survival mindset is always thinking about income, is always thinking about bills I make, how do we pay the bills, or how do we meet up needs. As far as we are paid the bills, as far as my family is comfortable, we are good. No, my dear, you're not good, because you can't create wealth by such mentality. You can only create wealth when you have this value creation mindset. A wealth creation is a mindset that transits into a value creation mindset. It's a value creation mindset that's always asking about how do I, because when you understand the place of solving problem, you understand that you need to solve it at large scale. You don't solve problem at small scale and you get much value, or else you do. There are two ways: at big price, or said small unit at big price, or a large unit at small price. Just for example, somebody called myself my team one time to supply a big truck, a big truck. Because the profit on it could be 10 million. Just striking that deal, you know, it's just like that. That's one deal. So rather than you having about to supply many things and make 5 million, make 1 million, you can do one thing and you can make 10 million, you can make 5 million. So that's the way the what people think. It's not just about survivor, it's about what problem you're looking at. What problem how do I solve problems for about 10,000 people? How do I solve problems for about 10, about 1,000 or 2,000? And it's gonna be looking. It's gonna be based on survival, because how many years gonna cut for him to become wealthy. But a wealthy mindset will be looking at, okay, as a barber, how do I move from just income to building system, to serving multiple people? You can be looking at, okay, people in this day products, or make this product that I can sell that will make my customers' ear to become dark, ever dark, rather than the gray hair and lacks of that. I'm a teacher who is teaching and collecting salary, and begin to look at what products, how do I solve problem and meet needs of thousands of people. For YX students, online difficult math work or English, or it can do online teaching that can meet some problems with many topic that seems so difficult. You can call, you can, those days when we were in school, some folks came up with key points, and before we write our exam, we have to go and get key points. So small books. I know you must have used it as well, and you know what I'm talking about. So that key point, a certain people came up with that, and they sold thousands and thousands and thousands of it to students. So you have to. That's the way to create wealth. You have to look at, how do I meet needs of thousands of people at large scale. Now, the difference between somebody who is looking at how can I be paid 200,000, 300,000, as somebody who is looking for problem to solve, is that somebody that has this survivor mindset is looking at income, is looking at basic solving immediate needs, and is just looking at survivor to the person. But somebody who is solving problem at large scale, who has this wealthy mindset, a value creator mindset, is looking at solving problems. Problems is solving, and is solving problem at scale, not just at scale, and is building system. These are the three key things. It solves problem, it solves it at scale, and it's building system. It's building system so that when the person is not there, the business is still going on, and the business is still working. You can see what I'm talking about. You can see when we talk about creating wealth, is cultivated. These are cultivations. These are things you need to build, because many Nigerians are only hustling. They hustle. Okay, I'm going to hustle. I want to go and hustle. Don't just continue to hustle. Believe that you can build system, you can create value, and you can not just creating value. You can solve problems. You can solve it at large scale, and you can build system. So that's what makes the difference. That's what makes the difference. Business, they don't have the thinking of a CEO. The thinking of an operator is that, oh, I cannot go and be paying salary. I cannot pay somebody salary when I'm not making enough. I'm not making enough profit. They continue to run the business like that, solely for a long time. The day they are sick, their business is not functioning. The day they are good, the business is working. So how long are you going to work like that as a survivor? The survivor mindset, hustling mindset. Stop hustling, having this hustling mindset. It's good to hustle, it's going to be hard working, but have a mindset of building system. A mindset that can create wealth is a mindset that have this value creation mindset. What problem are we solving? And how many people are we solving for? How many people are we solving for? Like I used to use, pure water company. As in Lagos State, we have about 20 million people. And they look at how many people are taking bottled water. Let's say 100,000 people every day. That's the market share, 10% of the market. And they are supplying on a regular basis. And they make their money. We have several companies, which I can mention here, but they never paid me for adverts, so I don't need to mention. So that's what it works. Think about how many people can you solve problems for with your value, and how do you do it at large scale. So nothing of value that is done in minimal scale yields great wealth. It has to be done at large scale. So as you are doing it at large scale, it's creating wealth, and people are getting, and you are building, outsource or engage, outsource each of the roles to people that can do it. That if you are not there, you train people, document the processes, document the functions and the competencies of each of the processes to people, and let it train people to do it. Then outsource it or delegate. Then that's how you begin to build system. Either you are there or you are not selling. Sell the land, keep selling the lands at the large scale. Use system you can still solve in your workplace. You are a career person. Look at how do you sell, not just for the company you're working for, how use the same skill you keep solving problem for many people, multiple people. You can look at a platform, probably grooming of people, look at the course you can sell, to keep solving problem at large scale. So that's the major thing. Moving from survival mindset to value creation mindset. That is one of the things you need to do to create wealth. If you're gonna create wealth, you must understand that. That's what I have for you today. I want to believe that you are blessed. I want to believe that we brought value to you. And how much it is you have learned, and if you have not appropriated it, applied it, it's not going to work. So, and the next question you want to ask, you can ask the question. Stay blessed. See you same time 9 o'clock tomorrow. Bye for now.